Welcome to another gathering of the Gold Key Adventurers Society. Have a seat by the fire as we prepare to help you unlock the secrets of the travel life. From theme park thrills to Purple Mountain's majesty, we want to see it all and do it all, and we want to help you do the same. We all have those bucket list trips, once-in-a-lifetime destinations that we'll get to someday. We're here to help you make your travel dreams a reality. Buy the ticket, take the trip. Where do you want to go?
Come on, come on, come on, now tell me what's on your bucket list. Okay, hey, okay, hey. It's a beautiful day. Okay, hey, okay, hey. It's a beautiful day.
Say what? Guests say the darndest things at Walt Disney World, and we're here to help you be smarter than the average Pooh Bear. But first, Jess introduces us to the wonder and glory of Bonbonland. Listen up, it's time to hit the trail with the Gold Key Adventurers Society. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to infiltrate the Disney parks and observe guest behavior. We've been getting reports of park guests being overheard saying the strangest things, and we need to find a way to stop this misinformation at its source to help them have a better Disney vacation. As always, should you or any of your society be caught or killed, the Secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions. This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Gold Key Adventurers.
Watch out, we might get a copyright.
I think it's okay if we just sing it poorly.
We just do
poorly.
Ah, yes.
How rude.
No one will know. I mean,
intentionally poorly. All right, so my question for you this week, though, is so what disguise, whether it's a character, cast member, or maybe a guest, would you use in your mission to infiltrate the parks?
Ooh.
Janitorial
staff.
Yep. Could hang out in the bathroom all day.
There's many perks to that.
Well, I've always wanted to be Mickey Mouse, so and I'm about the right height, so I'm going undercover as Mickey the Mouse.
That's pretty high profile for undercover, though.
Yeah, but everybody trusts you.
Exactly. They'll tell me all the things.
Hiding in plain sight.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to go a little bit more covert. Do you guys remember Push the Trash Can?
Yes. I love Push.
Yeah. So, I figure if I could hide in a trash can, then I can move around and just pretend I'm a robot. The unfortunate side of that would be people throwing trash at my face.
Yes.
Yes,
not much different than my wedding.
It's a good thing your mother-in-law doesn't listen.
She was doing the throwing.
I was thinking of a fur character also. I was thinking that I'd dig Roger Rabbit up out of mothballs.
Because you're a furry?
No, that's Dave.
Oh, right. Right, that's Dave. I forgot.
because that gives me an excuse to just act like an idiot.
That's always good, yeah.
All right, well, now it's time for the week's travel news, brought to you by Key to the World Travel. Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency specializing in theme parks, cruising, and destinations around the world. Head to www.keytotheworldtravel.com for more details and a no-obligation quote on the vacation of a lifetime. Who's got a news story for me, guys?
I've got a great story that I think you guys are going to be super excited about, and I think it's going to make you want to go on a celebrity cruise. Are you ready for this? Gwenyth Paltrow's lifestyle brand Goop is teaming up with Celebrity Cruises to offer Goop at Sea.
Isn't Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop the scent of her new candle?
Not exactly, but it made me wonder when I read this if you were going to get one of those candles in your room.
I think normally the threat of Goop at sea is what keeps a lot of people off of cruise ships.
It's just sea foam.
I was thinking more of the
Goop is partnering with Celebrity Cruises for their first at-sea venture. And after you've had a few days to relax, you'll have the one-day Goop at Sea experience, which will be basically a bunch of wellness summits. They're going to have sessions with experts on new ideas and philosophies on emotional and physical health and wellness. And these will be on sailings that depart from Barcelona and sail around the Mediterranean from August 26th until September 6th. So not a big width of time there for you to get in on one of these Goop sailings, but
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Is Gwyneth Paltrow going to be there?
It doesn't say whether she is, but it does say that she loves cruising, so you never know. She may come to pass out the candles herself.
So is her vagina.
Yes.
She and Huey Lewis both love cruising.
Yes, they do.
Together, actually.
So she says that this is going to be a test to see how it goes, and if it goes well, they plan to continue it into the future. While the Goop at Sea program is only one day. I can't stop laughing every time I say that.
The name.
This is even better.
Unfortunate.
The programming is only one day, but there will be Goopified perks that will pop up through the entire sailing, such as menus curated by Goop's food editor and other surprises. Knowing the things that they come up with, I'm kind of scared about what those surprises could be.
A Goop surprise is the worst kind of
The worst.
surprise.
It's a very invasive surprise.
Is this a Goop event? No, it's just a seafood buffet.
I can only assume that in the spa you could have vagina steaming appointments.
Instead of chocolates on your pillows, they give you a jade egg.
Yes. That is correct.
What was that cruise a few years ago that every time you say a Goop cruise, I think of that cruise a few years ago that they described the hallways as being full of
Oh, that was the carnival one where they lost power.
Tidal waves of feces.
Yeah, vomit and feces.
That was the poop cruise. This is the Goop cruise.
Oh,
It's very
totally
easy to
different.
get those
It's
two
a little
mixed up.
different.
Different bodily fluids involved.
So, yeah, check it out if you're a Goop fan.
And who isn't?
Right.
And if you are, condolences.
Yeah.
Well, we lost our Goopy listeners.
Yes, we did. Maybe that's
There goes
You know
Gwyneth.
what? I'm okay with that.
anything fun happening in the theme parks, Jess?
Yeah, some goopy stuff happening over in the theme parks.
Oh, yeah, I'm Goopy.
So a couple things out in Disneyland. We have Rise of the Resistance just opened this past January 17th. And also R2-D2 is now making appearances in the land as well.
Roaming Galaxy's Edge. How long do you
yeah.
think before somebody tackles R2-D2 and ruins it for
100%
everyone?
going to ruin it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it probably is going to happen. I did see a picture of Bob Iger speaking with him, so that was kind of weird.
I love that idea. It's like Push walking around, but cooler.
Yeah, they had previously stated in a recent interview with the OC Register that the autonomous droids that they had originally planned for the land were not going to be used after all.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
this one, the R2-D2 seems to be pretty much the exact same one that you can buy for an exorbitant amount of money.
$25,000.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
They've had the $25,000 one roaming around in the store.
Right.
So
I
why
think they
not
just opened the
take 'em
door.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep, he's been showing up, and also Rise of the Resistance just opened.
Say that 10 times fast.
Right. It was reported that people started lining up to get into Disneyland around 10 p.m. the night before.
Camping out in the old Esplanade.
And unfortunately for them, it rained.
Yes, it did. I saw
Yeah.
some pictures.
I was watching some video, and yeah, people for most of the morning up until really, I guess the park opened, it was raining. So
Yucky.
There's no ride or experience I'm going to wait in the rain for 10 hours for.
What if they handed you $1 billion at the end
That's
of the
not
10
a ride.
hours?
or experience. Yes, I would do that for that.
Okay.
that would also be the best ride ever. But
Yes.
I would let you flog me for 10 hours for that kind of jack.
Okay, perfect. Good to know.
after riding Rise this past weekend for the first time, I have always said that I wouldn't stand in line for most rides. This one, I would make a strong exception. I don't know exactly how long I'd wait, but that was one of the best experiences I've ever had. So
And you really don't have to wait too long with the boarding group system.
That was the greatest thing about it. Yeah, we got our boarding pass and we walked through the queue, and we walked through the entire queue before we got to basically the first pre-show step.
Yep.
And there was no one else in front of us in line. So if it continues to work, I mean, if it's running and everything's running smoothly, if the boarding passes continue to work like that, I would love to see that implemented on any ride that a cruise like high wait times.
Sure, yeah.
Dan, are all right?
We were there Christmas week, and when our group was called, we spent maybe 25 minutes in that pre-queue area when you're roaming through the caves, which isn't bad at all.
No.
For
And
an
it's really
attraction of that magnitude, it was great.
Yeah. And there's like benches built into certain sections, and there's really good stuff to look at through most of it. It actually broke down about halfway through when we were riding. Yeah, and we were evacuated off the ride, which, I was on the verge of tears at that point. But, when that happens, they gave us basically, they scanned our magic bands and said that as soon as the ride is back up and running, we are welcome to return at any time. And luckily for us, at about 20 minutes later, it was back up. And when you go back in, they send you through what will eventually be the Fast Pass line. So
nice.
You walk even shorter amount of time and get right on.
Did you get notification that it was back up and running, or did you just have to check back?
No, they did not send us a notification, but what was weird was I kept checking the app, and it never said that it was down. So I don't know if they just were physically telling people to hold on, or if they were letting people line up in the queue while it rebooted. I know it takes about 45 minutes for a reboot for the ride, so that's why they take everybody off instead of just let you sit it out. But yeah, it worked the second time, and it was magnificent.
It was worth it.
Yes. Oh, God, I can't wait to ride that again. It was so good.
I rode it once. I'm done. I don't need to see it again. I kid.
You have no soul.
I don't believe you.
What other news do we have?
So I found an article about a company based in the UK that wants to pay you about $4,000 to rate theme parks in Florida.
Oh, sure.
Yes. It's a UK-based company called Ocean Florida. They're looking for exceptionally adventurous people to test theme parks in Orlando for market research. So the work will be carried out over a total of about 3 weeks in April or May of this year, and they're paying £3,000, which is about $4,000 US. And they say the requirements are: the ideal candidate is over 18, social media savvy, can take amazing photos and videos, and will be willing to keep a video diary and post their experiences on Instagram. And you can bring a friend. They're also going to they'll pay for everything, travel expenses, in-park expenses like food, tickets, and will give you a GoPro to capture content and a Fitbit to count your steps. And they would like people to visit Walt Disney World Resort, Universal Orlando, SeaWorld Orlando, and then a bunch of smaller other parks. So,
are they looking for British people or anyone?
Anyone, yeah. They are taking applications until January 31st, so just a couple of weeks left here to get your application in. And you fill out an online form on the Ocean Florida website, which is ocean-florida.co.uk. And the job listing is theme park tester.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I'm down.
It looks like a fairly simple application process. They ask some demographic information and then ask you to rate your top roller coaster experience to date and why. And then tell them, if you were a Disney character, who would you be and why? And that's it.
Winnie the Pooh.
And why?
And why?
Because you like to walk around.
Because I have zero bothers to give.
I thought it was so you could walk around without pants. But.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Well, sort of. So I guess I got a little jealous all this time with you guys coming up with your interesting bed and breakfasts and hotels and whatnot. So how would you guys like to take a trip to Bonbonland?
Bonbonland.
Bonbonland.
Sounds delicious.
It sounds delightful,
does it have anything to do with candy?
It in fact does, but not really in the way that I think you're expecting. So Bonbonland exists in Denmark on the island of Zealand, and it began as a successful candy
down the
factory.
road.
Yeah, of course. This is going to be a quick trip for most people that listen, It began as a successful candy factory in the 80s and through the 90s. And it became famous for selling candy with names like seagull droppings, pea diapers, earwax, and
diapers.
Oh yes, and my favorite, the Hunderpruter, which is Translation.
Give this story to Dan.
Translation is dog fart. So through the success of these interesting candies, they eventually opened up Bonbonland in 1992. It's a 32-acre carnival of farting, defecating, and urinating character sculptures.
What?
Please tell me there's an anus-themed log ride.
I think you need to write to them about that. They might take your idea. You better copyright that.
Oh, no.
So most of the characters are either drunk or sick. Many of them resemble Disney characters with a really kind of twisted perversion to them. You can look forward to rides like the Hunderpruter Achterbahn,
So that's
which is the dog fart switchback. And in that one, you soar and glide over mounds of dog excrement while amplified fart sounds boom from a giant humiliated dog lifting his leg.
This sounds like Jeff's dream come true.
Yes,
What's sad about it is all of these characters look kind of scared to be doing what they're doing. Like the poor dog doesn't look happy to be peeing on. It's very, yeah. But the dog that is featured in that ride is Henry the farting dog, and he's also the mascot of the park. And you'll find him on countless souvenirs and likenesses throughout the park.
Oh, wow.
Some of the I'll warn our listeners now that some of the images of this park are a lot racier than others. So, take a little care if you're looking this park up with your kids around.
What was the name of it again?
It's called Bonbonland.
Bonbonland.
It just seems so
that
innocuous.
Sounds so innocuous, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to start taking Dutch lessons so that we can get an interview with somebody from this establishment.
How was the Hunderpruter Bach?
Hunderpruter.
Der Flame is Urky Durky.
That's
that's Swedish.
This is Denmark. Yeah.
So I think that we need to make a plan to have a live show from there.
Absolutely.
Yes,
this sounds
we need to
amazing.
cover this immediately.
Yes.
I'm available this summer, just FYI.
I'm always down for a Hunderpruter.
Maybe we can get Disney to put together an ABD itinerary.
Yes, I like it.
I'm sure they love this place.
I'll call Bob.
Got him on speed dial.
Well, my unusual hotel this week is not quite as good as Bonbonland. I'm a little disappointed to be following this up. But cheese lovers rejoice. There is a cheese-themed hotel suite coming to London. And the headline says, fromage lovers, if you're looking for an amazing cheesy vacation, there's a hotel in London that's too Gouda to believe. Yes, it is full of cheese puns.
I want to
Can't Swiss this one.
I want to stay in the Fromunda suite.
You took something joyful and
just ruined it. Yeah.
just stomped all over it.
So it's a French restaurant chain called Café Rouge, and they are opening a cheese-themed suite for a limited time in London. And the room is decked out in cheese-inspired wallpaper, bedding, and decor, and as well as plenty of cheese puns. For example, one wall says, "Will you brie mine?" And there's a pillow on the bed that says, "I'm so fondue you."
Yeah, that's cheesy.
It's pretty cheesy. In addition to the decor, the suite will also feature cheese-themed games. I'm not familiar with cheese-themed games. The bathroom soaps all look like cheese, among other things. The cafe teamed up with a company called Cuckoo's Homes in order to design this truly great, spelled Grate, hotel suite. Guests who are lucky enough to book the suite will be greeted with wine, cheese, and crackers upon arrival. In addition, they will be able to indulge in magnificent cheesy hot foods like halloumi fries, a camembert and raisin baguette, burgers, and lots of French cheese. But the best part is that it's completely free with one catch. Yes, this is another one of those contests. The suite will only be available to book by entering a competition, and then 10 lucky guests will win a one-night stay for themselves and a friend. And then the guests will also be asked to donate to the Prince's Trust charity upon leaving. So there you have a very small window here. Our readers will be able to get in on our readers. Okay. I'm reading. Our listeners will have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern on the day that this episode releases. So get in on this quick. Hopeful cheese lovers need to enter the competition by emailing the cheese suite at caferouge.co.uk. And you can also find more information on the Cafe Rouge website, and we'll put that up on the Facebook, on our Facebook page on the morning of January 21st when this episode airs.
I mean, I like cheese, but I don't need each thing to be cheese themed.
Yeah, right.
Like from the bedding to the toiletries.
Yeah, there's a wedge of cheese for a pillow on the bed, and there's a cheese couch. It's over the top.
You get one of those Green Bay Packers cheese hats.
Oh yes, that's a great idea.
There's really something for everybody. You can either have dog feces themed or cheese themed.
Yeah, whatever.
We cover it all for you.
We took away your appetite and then we gave it right back.
We find all of the things.
We're a well-rounded show, aren't we, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the hotel that I have is really disappointing compared to
Bonbonland.
Cheese Suite in
Is it the Jeff Williams Hotel?
Let's hear it.
Well, it's provided by Jeff Williams. Do you want to talk about it, Jeff?
No. Because I don't even know what we're talking about.
You can sleep among the towering redwoods at a studio-sized room in Northern California on Airbnb. This place looks like amazing because it's like you're on Endor.
Ooh,
the forest moon of Endor. Yeah, it's this tiny little it's a tiny house, like a storage container sized thing, with actually smaller than a storage container. It's more like an outhouse-sized building, but it's beautiful inside. It's available to rent on Airbnb for $165 a month. It's
a month?
Got I'm sorry, per night. $165
That was going to be
per night.
really a bargain.
You walk out of your tiny house onto the patio deck here, and you're up on the side of a hill overlooking the redwood forest. And
cool. But are there
I don't know what else
Ewoks?
I think you have to provide the Ewoks yourself.
Mm-hmm. They do have people that dress up for you, like
perfect.
the cows.
We're bringing the cows back.
We're never getting away from the cows.
Can you cuddle a cow on this indoor hotel?
Bring
Yes,
your
for
own
$75 an hour.
Sold.
The pictures really look amazing of this place.
Yeah, it's just you're tucked away in these trees and the giant ferns and everything.
Have y'all ever been out there to see the redwoods? I have not.
No,
I have
not yet.
I'd love to.
Oh, wow. We all suck.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Gold Key Adventure Society camping trip.
There you go. We're going to have to get them to build a few more of these buildings,
Yes.
though, because it has a queen-size platform bed, a tiny little microwave, and then a great big deck.
Oh,
That's about it.
does it have a bathroom? Because if not, I'm out.
Yeah,
There's a tree right out there.
There's
there
a
doesn't
lady's
look like there's
tree.
much room
Ugh.
Is the
for a
deck
bathroom.
is the deck made of redwood?
Oh,
It is a red-ish wood.
They're just out there mocking the other
I was
trees.
about to say, that's just so cruel.
You could be next.
Keep them in line. That's how they make sure they grow nicely.
Yeah,
This could be you.
You just stand there and be majestic.
It's located near the Tunidas Creek Open Space Preserve and the El Corte de Madera Open Space Preserve, and within a short 20-minute drive of several beaches. So we'll post a link,
right,
and you can check that
let's
out
go.
on Airbnb. You got any other news stories?
that's all
it
I
for me
got
today.
this week.
All right, well, then I want to real quick take one more walk through the Atlas Obscura.
Oh,
See what we can
yes.
find this week. I need a random number between 0 and 4 from Jeff.
8,
Nailed it.
3.
The joke was hilarious last time.
11 team.
Heather, 0 to 9.
6.
3, 6. Jess, 0 to 9.
4.
3, 6, 4, 3,
2, do we appreciate
4.
your...
All right, we are in the United States.
Oh.
Yes,
this
we are.
time. Ooh, and this is actually great. I've heard of this place. Have any of you guys heard of the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia?
I have
Yes, I love the Mutter Museum.
Have you been there?
What
Yes,
is it?
I love it.
Oh, well then, Jess,
Tell us.
We've got a resident expert. It's a
Nope. So go ahead. Yeah.
museum of medical curiosities, and Jess will take it away.
Yeah, it is. It is the most macabre museum ever. It is basically, it's just the history of medical oddities, of archaic means of surgery,
Ooh.
tools. Lots of specimens. It is.
Oh, I would love that.
Oh, it is amazing, and it is highly creepy. It's been a long time since I've been, but yeah, it is so much fun for
Wow.
people that are into creepy stuff like I am.
Sounds
Philadelphia.
Guys, they've got a preserved 9-foot-long megacolon of a man whose large intestine accumulated 40 pounds of feces due to a nerve disorder. And then
Been
turn
there,
around
done that.
Friday night, right? Woo!
and then turn around and you'll see a tiny skeleton curled into a sphere, a stone child. Well, this is
a stone child.
that's a downer.
That
this is a
sounds depressing.
lithopedion, an extrauterine fetus that calcified inside his mother,
Oh,
remaining undiscovered for 24 years.
she carried it around for 24 years? Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, so there's, and
that's
seen
Jess's
pictures
favorite.
of a wall full of walls full of eyeballs and all
Walls
kinds
of
great stuff
eyeballs. Ooh, walls of balls.
I love walls and balls.
That
At the same time.
So it's located in Philadelphia, a short walk from 30th Street Station, and we'll put a link to that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're into the creepy stuff, definitely
Let's
check it out.
go.
Oh, yeah.
I am in.
That does it for the news. Stick around because after this commercial, we are going to be talking about some of the interesting things that we've been overhearing in theme parks lately and how you can learn from other people's mistakes. So with that, we'll see you after this break.
Don't go away. Now it's time for a commercial.
When it comes to planning your next adventure, knowledge and preparation are always key. That's why a call to your Key to the World travel vacation planner should always be at the top of your to-do list when you feel the urge to venture forth and explore the world. Key to the World Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner, specializing in travel to Disney theme parks around the world, as well as Disney Cruise Line, Aulani, and Adventures by Disney. With over 450 travel advisors who share a deep love for Disney destinations, Key to the World Travel has a wealth of knowledge and passion to help you experience all the magic with none of the work. Wherever your wanderlust is driving you, Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency with the expertise to get you where you want to go. So whether you're headed to Universal Studios, Hawaii, Europe, or somewhere a little farther off the beaten track, your first step should always be to visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a no-obligation quote. Their expert travel planners are standing by to help you with every detail of your perfect vacation. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com or at Key to the World Travel on Facebook. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation.
Thanks for sticking around. Let's get back to the show now.
You're sitting on a bench in Central Park feeding the ducks, which, of course, is a perfectly normal activity for a person wearing a trench coat, fedora, and sunglasses. Before long, another trench-coated, sunglass-wearing person sits down beside you and starts tossing their own bread. After a moment, he murmurs, "The blue sun melts the red snow." After you reply, "And the purple water runs uphill," he sets a briefcase down between you, tosses the rest of his breadcrumbs, and walks away. You follow suit and walk off with the briefcase full of the notes from our recent surveillance mission in the Disney parks. So let's talk about what we've been hearing lately. Yes, I think you got it.
So, the first one I have overheard at a park was at Epcot. And it actually comes from our resident curmudgeon Dave.
Oh.
Last time we were in Epcot, all I kept hearing from him was, "This is boring. There's nothing to do. I don't find other cultures interesting. I need fun rides that go zoomy."
Shots fired.
Love you, Dave.
Well, you can go zoom me awfully soon.
Those are actual quotes, right?
Yes.
Actual things we have heard Dave say.
It says them so much that they're burned into my brain.
It sounded like you had a recording there. It was a spot-on impersonation of his voice, too.
I've actually got Dave here. It's a surprise.
Well, I have another one that I overheard at Epcot, so it goes well with Dave's tirade. It's a little bit different. So I overheard this woman asking a cast member what the hours of the baby care center were, and the cast member told her. And then she asked how long she could leave her baby there while she and her husband drank around the world. And the cast member had to explain that the baby care center is not a daycare.
It's really more of a diaper change.
Yes, it's where you could go to change your baby. If you forgot the diapers, they have them there. You can nurse your baby, but they're not going to watch it for you while you go get drunk.
It's also a delightful time machine. Have you ever been into one of those lately?
Not lately, no.
I've never.
When's the last time you went someplace that had a cash register that did not accept credit cards?
What? This is a thing still?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Well, then again, a lot of the cash registers at Walt Disney World still don't allow you to put like the chip in. So like they're behind on a lot of stuff with that.
But so
sort
you
of
have an
POS.
They have
emergency.
so
You
many
need to
to
change
update,
your
though.
baby. You forgot a diaper. They have them there to buy, but you have to have cash.
Yeah, let me tell you a short story. Sorry to sidetrack us so quickly, but a couple years ago when we were at Disneyland, we Alex tossed
Which
his
one of my
tossed
four
his pacifier. I have so many.
What's my kid's name again?
Alex jettisoned his pacifier at night, and we couldn't find it, and we needed a new pacifier, and we were near the Matterhorn in Fantasyland. So I run up Main Street, USA, to find the baby care station because it's obviously different than Walt Disney World, so I didn't know. Find it. She's like, "Oh, cash only. Sorry about that."
That is bizarre.
And so I say, "Where's the nearest ATM?"
Back
Nearest
in
ATM?
Fantasyland.
No.
The hotels?
Across from the entrance to Big Thunder. So I had to cross Fantasyland over to Big Thunder and then cross back again just to get a pacifier.
They wouldn't just give you the pacifier? Oh,
No.
Yeah,
that's not magical.
The good news is it was considerably cheaper than buying a pacifier at your local store. So
Well,
It's
that's
because they
something.
collect all the ones that the kids lose and they just rinse them off and sell them back to people.
That's a
I'm
great
okay
idea.
with that. We're building immune systems. So anyway, back to Overheard at the theme parks.
Take money with you in case
Well,
you need to buy a pacifier.
Yeah.
The Epcot thing made me think that I think it was maybe my first trip to Disney as an adult, but one of our early trips, someone said, "This sucks here. Let's go back to Disney World."
Oh, I feel like we've all heard that one. That's, yes,
Some variation, yeah.
And I think it was Baby Dave.
they have been. Little Dave.
Chance
Beers.
meeting in the past.
This sucks.
I guess in their defense, Disney World used to only be Magic Kingdom, but people
It's true.
really do seem to think of Disney World as Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we have a montage of all of those similar statements?
Yeah. I did hear on Main Street once when it was a rainy day, someone say, "I thought this park was covered." It's a little bit of the variation of the why don't they have a bubble, but
Dome.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was on
Doesn't
Main
one
Street
of
and they were
the Asian
annoyed.
parks have a covered Main Street
I do
area?
think
Shanghai?
that's Tokyo. I think it's I think it's Tokyo. Yeah, the whole
And
Main
doesn't
Street
Paris
area.
also?
It's not covered.
No.
They do have two.
There are interior parks.
Yeah, they have two corridors down either side of Main Street. They're
Right, I thought there was like
arcades.
an arcade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great place to pop into the restroom if you need to on the way out of the park.
I have another one for Main Street. This is years ago when I was a kid, so I actually thought that this person knew the truth, and now obviously it's not. But I just remember this older guy pointing around to his wife and being like, "All these names on the windows, these are the construction workers who died while they were building the park."
Wow, that is dark.
And so, yeah, me as a kid, I'm like, I think I had just been reading about, like the Great Wall of China and how the workers
Yeah.
were buried into the wall. And I was
Brooklyn
like,
Bridge, too.
It's like, wow, Walt Disney was like ruthless, man. That's
construction workers
crazy.
who died. This is not something that I overheard, but I read in an article once that someone had overheard at the entrance to Epcot. They're not there anymore, but those were they called Leave a Legacy there?
Tombstones.
The tombstones. Yes, that someone overheard someone saying this is where they bury people if you die on a ride.
Wow.
So they thought they were actual tombstones. Yeah.
The family has
like it or
no
not.
say at all.
No. You died on the ride. We're putting your body right there.
This is against my religious beliefs. Shut up. You're going under Epcot.
Yeah,
Going in the hole.
Sorry.
But don't they know that nobody officially dies on Disney property?
That's correct.
Correct.
They were pronounced dead elsewhere.
Right. And then they brought them back. I guess I heard this might be my only other entry other than people being terrible.
All of the awful things you've heard people say.
Yeah. It happened on Main Street, USA, just a year ago on February. I was walking behind these guys when we were exiting, and the guy goes, "Yeah, did you hear about this new club that they put in that you can? It's like $1,000 to get in, but you can drink. It's right up here on top of one of these buildings on Main Street, USA." It's like, guy, you're about 10% correct.
$1,000.
There is a club.
And
Wouldn't
I
that be
had,
great?
I might have just found out and seen what that club was all about.
Yeah.
But
It's not on top of the buildings in Main Street, and it didn't cost $1,000.
but his friend was
I have
really
no
impressed
idea
with
what you're
his secret
talking about,
knowledge.
Dan.
He was referring to Club 16 and a half. It's a little cheaper than the other club.
It's also half size because it's
Because it's in the forced perspective.
Forced perspective.
You guys are referring to Fight Club, right? And you do know what
Yeah,
happens
that's
when you
right.
talk about Fight Club, right?
What is Fight Club? Never
I don't
heard
know.
of it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've never heard of it. Well, here's one that we might be able to offer some advice, some helpful advice to people. So I was at Walt Disney World. We arrived on Christmas Day, so we were there the busiest week of the year from between Christmas and New Year's, and we were staying at Riviera, which is brand new, just opened on December 16th, and they have a brand new character breakfast at Topolino's Terrace up at the top. So Christmas week, brand new restaurant, first ever character dining where the characters are all wearing brand new costumes. Seems like it might be pretty popular, right? As we were leaving, we hear a family that had just walked up to the check-in desk, and she asks what their name for their reservation, and the guy says, "Well, we need a reservation for this? I thought it's in our hotel. I thought we could just walk up." She explains, "No, you have to have a reservation." So they leave, and they got on the same elevator that we did. And the guy just lays into his wife that they keep every single restaurant we walk into, we need a reservation. And how did you not know this? And we've been eating crap all week. And they had been there for a few days, and they had 0 reservations. Yeah. And
that's her fault.
They're talking about, I don't even know how I make reservations. So I chimed in and told them they could, you can check in the app, and there's an app.
Oh, no.
So these people had no reservations, no fast passes, and didn't even know about the app. And they were there for Christmas.
And he said all week, so they've been here for a while suffering.
Yeah, this was towards the end of our stay. So it was probably like
Do you think at some point they would have asked a cast member somewhere anything for some advice?
Yeah.
Something. But they
Or just somebody that goes bills every day.
Yeah.
Somebody at the restaurant should have said, like, "Oh, by the way, this is going to be something you encounter everywhere you go."
Yeah, she didn't tell them that. He did say, "Well, if we come back tomorrow morning," and she said, "No, we are booked up every day. We're sold out. You have to have a reservation." And I mean, where do you start with that? They knew nothing, and they were there the busiest week of the year.
You'd think that they'd see how long the lines are at a quick service and figure that the table service would be even worse.
Yeah, so I did tell them about mobile ordering, because I figured that at least if they could download the app, they aren't probably going to be getting many table service reservations that week, but they could mobile order and avoid some of the lines at quick service.
That's a shame. Speaking of people just being really unprepared and not doing any research, I know we've all heard some variation of we'll hit up Harry Potter first.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard of a guy outside of Hollywood Studios go up to a cast member and point to the boats that lead to the resorts and ask, like, okay, so that's the boat that takes us over to Diagon Alley? And he's like, no, sir, that's a different resort altogether. And he's like, so wait, that's at Epcot? And like the guy, the poor cast member just looked like, I don't know how to explain this to you to get it. And he just the guy couldn't grasp it.
That's at SeaWorld.
Yeah. Margaritaville.
Right next to Shamu.
A funny one that I heard once was standing in line in Haunted Mansion. I heard a dad tell his kids that the magic bands they were wearing can read your heart rate and tell Disney if you're having a good time or not.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then they shock you into submission if you're not.
Right. The magic bands do not have that capability. They have passive RFID chips, and it will tell people. It will tell the system maybe where you are. And that's really about it. And what's in your reservation, but that's it.
Yeah, and it doesn't like tell them where you are like it's following you. It just
it's only if there's a scanner nearby.
It knows when a chip is near a scanner, and sometimes they personalize not an advertisement, but a fun little thing in a ride or something for you, or put the pictures from the ride you were just on automatically on your magic band.
Yeah, as far as locating, the best it can do is tell them what's the last attraction you passed.
It does not help if you lose your child. People think that too. Help find your missing kid, which would be kind of cool. But
speaking of the things that it can do, though, there was a story I read once about a guy who had lost his magic band right at the launch of Rock and Roller Coaster, and it flew off his hand and landed next to the camera. And so he got off, and at the end of the day, in his My Disney experience, he had like 3,000 ride photos.
Because everybody's photo.
Time it rode, it would load it into his My Disney, and he kept getting notifications for it. And so
that's
someone
crazy.
go get it. Did someone go get it for him?
I think eventually they went and got it, but
they figured out where it was.
Yeah, during the day they weren't just going to turn the ride off to go get it. They just you're going to have to eat all those photos, buddy.
I've overheard this in the park, and I've overheard it for sure, or not overheard, but had it told to me as a travel agency many times. I'm sure you guys have too. That they want to stay at the hotel in the Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
people
I blame that commercial
one inside the park.
Yeah, I blame that old commercial where the kid wakes up and opens his blinds in the hotel, and there's the castle. Do you guys remember that one? Right. I blame that.
You can do that in Paris. If you really want that experience, I got a Disney park for you, and it's called Disneyland Paris. And you can see the castle from your window if you have the perfect room at the Disneyland Hotel.
Even that is within the actual gates of it, but it's not
right. You're not in
quite,
the park.
Like people really think they're coming down out of Elias's shop up top and stepping down into the Emporium or something.
Yes.
Well, Universal's Epic Universe of Epicness will reportedly have the first hotels within sort of the park grounds itself by the way that it looks. So
I'm all for that.
It seems like their hub is going to be more like a city walk type of thing where the lands come off of the shopping and hotel district. Sounds kind of cool.
I like that idea.
We'll still
the old all roads go through the gift shop routine.
And we'll still hear people there asking where Star Wars Land is.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Well, it's a movie. It must be there.
Park. One of my favorite things that I overheard was sitting in the Hall of Presidents, and I heard a woman behind me say, "Why are there no women in this attraction?"
Yep.
Well,
that's a long conversation.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Probably an important conversation.
This is going to take us a while to really unpack this.
Why are there so many old white dudes?
Just all old white guys. Maybe she was British. I don't remember that, and it didn't make sense to her.
Oh, yeah.
I should give her the benefit of the doubt, although I don't remember a British accent, so I think she was just stupid.
I'm sure we have a section of angry dad quotes. One of my favorites. So I have two. The one that was at Disney was, "We paid too damn much to be here for you to stand here and cry."
Yes, I love that.
I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah,
this is the happiest place on earth. Quit your crying.
You didn't go the I'll give you something to cry about route, but I've heard so many different variations of this is expensive. You better enjoy yourself
You better have fun.
the time.
You're ruining this for everybody.
Yeah.
Get on the roller coaster you're terrified of.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And then I heard heard an adjacent one a few years ago, which was come here and get your allergy medicine. You're getting cranky. and then proceeding to dose the kids with Benadryl.
Take this third Benadryl. You're ruining my good time.
You've got allergies.
People are amazing.
Speaking of when people get angry at the parks, my family, we actually have a game that we play in the parks, and it's called Huh? And the way you play it is you have to be aware at all times, and it's usually later in the day when people's, they're tired, hot, everybody's
starting
just
to lose
kind of done with it. And if it's without a doubt, at least once in a day, you'll hear somebody say something to another family member like, hey, and then the other one will go, huh? And if you catch a huh, then you have to say huh to us, and then you get a point for your huh for catching it. You would not believe the amount of responses that's what people give. Somebody pushing a stroller and somebody behind them will try to get their attention, and they're just done with it, and it just automatically turns into huh.
That's so fun.
If you're at Epcot, you could turn that into a great drinking game.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I'm going to get my kids so
a
drunk
shot
with
for everyone. Yeah. Yeah, Ash is a lightweight.
Yeah. 7-year-olds can't hold their liquor.
He's all, Dad, I'm 7. You're like, drink up.
Do your shot, son.
A similar one I heard at our local water park. We were at the top of one of the really tallest slides up there, and everybody's getting cranky because you've been standing on the steps for a long time. And the kid was just bugging the crap out of the dad. And he goes, you about to find out if you can fly.
Oh, dang.
I got to write that one down.
Wow.
And my son leaned over to me and said, spoiler alert, he can't. He did not find out. He calms down.
Boy, that's implying so much.
Ooh.
I did hear a dad in the bathroom from another stall just yell to his kid, don't pee on the seat. Mickey might have to sit on that.
Who cares about the other guests?
He's going to feel so embarrassed when he meets Mickey next. Like, so sorry.
Yeah.
I got a wet seat. I peed on the seat. I'm sorry.
You got my butt wet, kid. I'm really mad at you.
Hiya, pal.
Goofy, take him outside.
Get the rubber hoses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Disney jail.
So this was not in a park. It was on Castaway Cay. We were at the end of the day, we were on the tram heading back to the ship, and there was a woman in front of us who was just enraged that there were real fish in the water on Castaway Cay.
Yep. I've heard that.
Yes. She did not understand why she wasn't warned that there were going to be real fish. She expected it to be safe animatronic fish because it was Disney.
I was thinking it's like the tiki room underwater.
Your kids are swimming in the ocean, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Disney
I think they
didn't
thought
take
it was
out all
going to
the
be
fish.
fake lagoons like water parks.
Yeah. Yeah. And that she was going to head to guest services to complain that they weren't warned. Good luck
That's
with
one of my
that.
favorite things about the island is that it's minimal sort of Disney overlay. It really feels like a nice secluded island.
Yeah, you can go snorkeling and see.
You can scuba too.
Yeah, you could go scuba. But in the snorkeling lagoon, they do have a few statues, as a Mickey statue and some stuff like that. But
Lots
it's very
of good
light.
artificial reef, but real fish.
there's real fish, and there are signs all over the beach. This is that's got to be why those signs are there. This is the actual ocean. You may encounter wildlife. This is their home.
Not
They
much
do
we can
have
do about it.
they do have a net that is out a ways.
Annette Funicello.
I was just about to. I have water in my mouth. It's not fair.
A net full of Jello.
A net full of Jello, yes, that tries to keep out some of the bigger wildlife. But spoiler alert: the fish can swim over it. So
They've gained that capability.
yes, it's scary, right?
Fish are able to swim now.
I, for one, welcome our fishy overlords.
I'll serve you well in underwater kingdoms. Did you guys know that all the people that work in World Showcase are actors and all of their accents are fake?
What?
Yeah.
I was unaware of this.
I was too until I overheard that.
They're all
Was that on this most recent trip? We'd mentioned that.
No, I mentioned it to you guys, when we were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it a few trips ago.
That's hilarious.
And it was later in the evening, so it was like, did you know that all the actors, they're actors, and they don't talk like that.
That guy was not really from Italy.
This guy was wasted. It was hilarious.
Yeah, drunk people at Epcot, I don't buy it.
That could be a whole episode just walking around with a recorder.
But no, that's not true. They do hire cast members from the countries that they are working in. And
are those college program people? They have like international college program.
A lot of them,
yeah.
But they're always really awesome and are really eager to talk about their cultures and their countries. Yeah. So I recommend chatting them up if you want to learn something about whatever pavilion.
Especially in Japan.
Yeah,
they love Americans, and they're so excited to be at Disney World working.
One that Jess and Heather and I all overheard this just 2 days ago. We were on the monorail between Epcot and Magic Kingdom and ran into a couple there with their little baby. And they, spur of the moment, after a cross-country drive in an RV, decided, well, we'll just hit up all 4 parks at Disney World in one day. They didn't know anything about Disney World. And they were frequent visitors to Disneyland. They live in California, but somewhere nearby where they've been many, many times. But they were trying to ask us what to hit up first and how many things I'm like, it's going to take you 40 minutes to get from where we are right now.
Yeah, they only had 2 hours blocked out for the Magic Kingdom. And
So they parked at Epcot and we're going to monorail over. And they thought really it was like a 2-minute monorail. I was like, it's 40 minutes. Door to door, pretty much.
And we're going to have to switch monorails from this one we're on right now.
So we gave them all the tips we could, and most of those tips were really just walk around and enjoy everything and look at the differences, and don't try to, if you wait in line for something, it was pretty busy too because there's a lot of cheerleading contests going on, but just enjoy all the differences. But one thing, as we separated from them, we came back upon them in front of it was the little stand where they sell the spring rolls.
Cheeseburger spring rolls. And so I stopped to listen because I was going to point out to them that those are awesome and that's a great snack to try. And he asked the guy, where's the New Orleans area?
No. Oh, no.
And I started to go over there and help him. And I was like, you know what? I just have to keep walking.
Yeah.
And so I did not. But most of these, not all of them, but a lot of these things we're talking about here just shows to go you. You got to do a little bit of research or hire a travel agent that knows what they're doing, because
an expert travel advisor
have to know there's not a hotel in the parks. There's not a New Orleans area. You can't fly.
We found out recently from a VIP tour guide that every single day, I mean, we've all heard the people showing up with their Universal tickets trying to get in, and they don't understand that Disney and Universal are not
Hollywood
the same
Studios.
thing. Yeah. But they said that every single day they get people who have gone online to themselves to buy their tickets, and they show up at the Magic Kingdom with Disneyland tickets.
Oh yeah. That happened on the middle.
Single day. Yeah. And that's right. That was a true to life thing. And every single day, and along many years ago, they couldn't do anything for you. You had to just purchase a ticket, and then go back to Disneyland when you got home and try to get a refund for the tickets you couldn't use. But now if you go to guest relations, they will help you convert that ticket to give you the credit for what you paid for it towards a Disney World ticket. But stuff like that can really very easily be avoided by consulting a travel advisor.
Yeah. There's just too much information to know. And it costs too much money to show up at the wrong park and the wrong coast.
And we heard that from Universal last week in some meetings we were having, that the same thing happens there. People are coming with Universal Hollywood tickets because they just went online, Googled it, and bought the first thing that they saw. And you're in the wrong place.
Yeah. And I haven't looked at Universal's consumer side, but I know that it's not easy to navigate all the time with the ticket options just for travel agents. So I can only imagine that if you haven't taken a class on what the different offerings for tickets are.
Well,
it's
and
easy
just
to make a
so
mistake.
many people. We Disney is in our blood. It's we're talking about it, thinking about it all the time, but most people aren't. And it's so many people think it's Disneyland is Disneyland. I'm going to Florida, but I'm going to Disneyland, and that's how they end up with the wrong ticket.
Walt Disneyland to Florida campus.
That's right. The famous T-shirt idea
on my list. We saw some market research that Universal did that was proving that people, even at various stages of either in the middle of a visit to the parks or planning or whatever, had no idea that not just the obvious, like Hollywood Studios doesn't belong to studios, but they think Harry Potter is at Disney. And the big one that they noticed was they think Star Wars is at Universal because it's a movie. Things like that. So people just really don't know.
They think all the live action movies are Universal and cartoons or anything whimsical with magic like Harry Potter is Disney.
Yeah, so many people just don't even know they're separate parks. They're not even close to each other.
Well, and the similar names for, the two Universal Studios and Hollywood Studios is now even worse when it used to be MGM Studios.
Yeah. You can thank Eisner for that one. Yeah. That was...
I actually kind of am really surprised that they didn't go through a third name change and change it from Hollywood Studios. I think that had it was a big reason why they were considering it.
They were definitely testing names. They were having people fill out surveys. And I was like, that's a great idea because the studios part of it is pretty much gone. There's no studios to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like I think they were looking at, what was it, like Hollywood Adventure?
I liked that idea.
I think that would be perfect.
There are some really wacky.
They're all IP based now.
Yeah,
and
there were
it's
some really wacky,
like
dumb ones,
Adventure.
like made up words. I can't remember what they like.
There was some Hyperion stuff.
Yeah, Hyperion Park. Yeah,
one was like Euro Trash. Something.
Well, I thought that was Epcot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was Eisner.
Stay down, Epcot.
Hundepruter.
Is Dave still here?
Dave's not here, man. No, I'm Dave. So to summarize, use a travel agent or do your research
don't assume.
at the very least.
Definitely don't assume, and yes, seek a professional.
That's right.
Yep.
Just like the professionals at Key to the World Travel.
Correct. Huh. I love when you hear somebody trying to talk about a ride they want to go to and they clearly have no idea what the ride is. Has anyone heard Slinky Dog Dash called the hot dog roller coaster? I had somebody ask me if I knew where the hot dog roller coaster
that's
was.
Near the Hunterprunter.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, can we take a second and imagine what the hot dog roller coaster is?
It's a Hunderpruter with a Wienermobile as the car.
Hopefully they... I'm sure there's some smellitzers involved.
Hot dog water.
Ketchup and mustard.
There's that little trickle like on Big Thunder Mountain, and it's just hot dog water that hits you as you go through
it's just a little pre-trickle before the climb.
Oh, Jess is out.
That's all I could take.
Bridge too far.
Suck it to me.
Any other good overheards?
That was all the ones I had.
I've heard people wondering why so many people are taking pictures of the bathrooms back over at Rapunzel's Potties.
Best bathrooms in the park.
Taking pictures of the bathroom.
It's the prettiest pooper in all the land.
And you'll often see people in like right inside, just as you are going into the ladies' room. It has lots of Rapunzel.
The wanted posters.
I think that one is on the men's room. I'm not familiar with the men's
Flynn.
side. Yeah.
Honestly, you're not going to see anybody.
Posters.
You're not going to see anybody in the men's room taking photos, and there's a very good reason for that.
In the
That's
ladies'
why I have
room,
a
it's
GoPro
all
on my shoe.
like it's Rapunzel's her painting. So there's always someone taking a selfie in front of that.
I'm not taking pictures. I just have a wide stance.
You're just trying to get them to spare a square, you know.
I don't have a square to spare.
I do like that they have the frying pans above the sinks. That's
That is good. Yeah.
They're
Poor
great bathrooms.
Punzi.
And there's like
She
a million
deserves so
stalls
much
in those
better.
bathrooms, so but I
can't
wouldn't take
believe
photos
that.
of that.
They do have a
made
lot of
such
very
beautiful area
photogenic.
that's just a bathroom. Give her a ride or something. Aren't they doing a Rapunzel something better? Is that in Paris? Are they doing Rapunzel something? Or did I dream that? Or just
I think you might have dreamed it. They are putting
they're doing Frozen Land.
They're doing Frozen Land in Paris, yeah.
And they added a dining location to one of the Disney cruise ships. That's the...
yes, Rapunzel does have her own dining experience. Yeah.
But does it have a bathroom?
That's what the ocean's for. It's on a ship. Come on.
That way you avoid the goop.
I am
a side of
definitely
goop,
trying to
please.
avoid the goop.
Is that part of the gray stuff?
Boat promises something for everyone.
Yuck. I don't want to go on the goop boat.
You can goop up any boat, really.
Just watch.
Okay, ew.
Norovirus.
Is that a challenge?
I think if we've gotten back around to this subject,
Yeah.
Oh, it'll come back
does that
around.
mean
in
we've
another
run
episode.
out? Oh yeah, this is a new runner. I think that means we've exhausted our main topic of conversation. I think one of my big takeaways is the fact that for some reason everybody thinks they're in their own little bubble inside the giant crowd at the parks.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, guys! Everybody can hear.
We
what you're
can
saying.
all hear you.
We can all hear you, and we're all here. It's hot for all of us, so calm down, relax, use a travel agent, and go with the flow.
That
And
sounds
people like us
great
are
Not
advice.
Flo's V8.
But don't go to Flo's. Yeah.
Never gonna float.
Never. Don't ever. All right. Well, thanks for joining us this week. Hopefully you at least laughed at something ridiculous. Hopefully you learned something. Call up your travel agent. And let them tell you.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. I need to start writing outros. Note to self. Note to self, write the outro. Dummy.
Nailed it. First try.
Don't treat yourself like that.
I blame it on the newborn.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Sophie's fault.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell your friends how much you like our show. Tell them how they can come listen to us too. Maybe make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Leave us ratings and reviews, all that good stuff. And we will see you again next week when we're going to talk about them great big fancy ships in the ocean that they call cruise ships.
Them cruise boats.
I can't wait.
All right.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Catch you later.
It's time to close this week's gathering of the Gold Key Adventurers Society. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for tuning in. If you want to become a member of our band of explorers, all you have to do is subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. And while you're there, go ahead and give us a rating and review, won't you? We'll be eternally grateful. It helps other adventurers find us and helps us grow our show. To ask a question or share your travel story, you can reach us by smoke signal, carrier pigeon, or send an email to goldkeyadventurers@gmail.com. And make sure you follow the Gold Key Adventure Society on Facebook and Instagram. A huge thanks to our sponsor, Key to the World Travel. For all your travel planning needs, visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a free quote and help planning the trip of a lifetime. Tell them the Gold Key Adventurers sent you. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. Thanks to Outer Vibe for the use of their song Hoka Hey for the intro and outro of our show. Find them on Facebook at The Outer Vibe or check out www.outervibe.com for tour dates, music, merch, and more. We'll see you next week for another meeting of the Gold Key Adventure Society. And until then, remember, life is short and the world is wide. So go have an adventure.